Good morning, Karen.
Morning, Joe.
You ready to do this?
I am. Let's go.
Let's do this. Woo! Yeah. Good morning, Ray. You're holding the door for us. Thank you.
Hey, Ray.
Let's get the show started.
Let's go. Another classroom map. It would look something similar to this.
You have several views you can choose.
Hi, I'm Karen.
And I'm Joe.
And welcome to What's
Happening? And then today we're going to be going over a way of manipulating your iPad to, I guess, restrict the kids or to
Lock them into an app.
lock them into an app, okay?
And I know this has kind of been an issue for me because as a parent, right? As a parent, I have a little girl, and of course, sometimes I want her to practice a specific app so that she can learn, and she likes to play with different apps. She's got her own idea of what she should be doing. And in the classroom, it happens the same way. Sometimes we'll assign a specific app for a student to work on so that they're covering a specific TEK or learning a specific skill, and when you turn around, they jump out into a separate app.
And so with this little trick, it was not really a trick, it's something that's built into the app, but you have to have the latest operating system on your iPad. You have to have the 6.1 at least installed, and then you can take advantage of this feature. And then Karen's about to show you on the iPad.
So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to enable guided access. Remember, this will allow you to lock a child, a student, an adult into an app so they can only stay within that app. And the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and navigate to your settings app. And you want to make sure that you're in general. So on the left-hand side, I'm in the brightness and wallpaper. So let me go ahead and click on general. And you want to scroll down and locate accessibility.
Accessibility will be all the way at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And accessibility, of course, is another place that you can use if you're needing to maybe zoom in on your iPad or you're wanting to have some speak selection. So there's a lot of little features in there, but we're going to focus on guided access. And so if you look for the heading Learning, and remember, if you don't see it, that probably means you need to update your iPad. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Learning where it says Guided Access. And from here, if this is your first time doing this, you'll see that it says off, right? And it gives you directions here. Guided access keeps the iPad in a single app and allows you to control which features are available. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so that this feature will work on my iPad. And I recommend setting a passcode because if you set a passcode, it makes it a little more difficult for a child to get out of the app. So I'm going to set this passcode. For my campuses here that I work with, I usually recommend keeping the same code uniform on a campus. And so that way everyone in the entire campus, teachers, faculty, as far as admin, they all know how to bypass the guided access, okay? So I'm going to set up my own passcode real quick. I'm going to re-enter it to make sure I know this. All right, so now I've set a passcode.
So complex.
It's so difficult, right? I recommend a more difficult password for your students. They'll guess that one probably in the first try. All right, so now it's turned on, and again, the directions are here. It says to start guided access, triple-click the home button in the app you want to use. So I'm going to hit my home button once, and I'm going to find an app I want to show this.
Just to remind you, it's this button right here. Okay. I'm doing this because people ask me, like, what's the home button?
Wait, right, I know I get that question a lot, too. All right, so I picked this app called Howie the Hungry Monster, and it's a Build-A-Word app, and it's an app that we're using in TLI. The problem, and there's no really problem with this app, but the problem in, say, a kinder classroom is that just level 1 is addressing the TEKs, the kinder TEKs, okay? So if we go off to level 2, level 3, level 4, and 5, those are addressing TEKs that are in other grade levels. And so I might want to restrict my kindergartners to just level 1 because they're kind of exploratory. You know, they want to see what's in level 2 and level 3. So if I go ahead and lock them in, I can control where they can navigate on this screen and also lock them into the app. So I'm going to follow the directions, triple click the home button, so right here, 1, 2, 3. And you notice it kind of shrank the page and now there's kind of a gray border around it. On the top left is my cancel if I don't want to do this, and then on the top right is start. I'm going to start real quick. Well, actually, you'll notice I've locked out some things, so I cheated here. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the start button. And from this app, you'll notice I'm in Howie the Hungry Monster. I hit the home button. It tells me to triple click the home button to exit. So I'm a smart kid, I can read. I triple click the home button. And let me try this again. And it gives me the passcode. So if I don't know the passcode and I guess, it locks me out for 10 seconds. If I try this one more time, it's going to lock me out for 60 seconds, and it's going to continue to add time. So I can't really do anything unless I know the passcode. So I'm going to get it wrong again. Okay. Next thing that you need to know about guided access is it disables the button. So the home button doesn't work. If I press the power button to turn it off, it doesn't work. Okay. And also the volume buttons don't work. So here's the thing.
That's important.
Yeah, you want to set up the volume to the limit that you would like your students to use before you turn on guided access. So if this is like, say, a book that they're going to utilize in a center and you want the volume up, set it to the appropriate level, the volume limit that you want, because they can't turn the volume down and they can't turn the volume up because all of those buttons are disabled, okay? So I'm going to exit guided access now. I've got 25 more seconds. I locked myself out of this app. I would have to say one advantage of this is if they're trying to, get themselves into it, they're going to give up after some time.
And keep in mind, you don't have to do this guided access to all your kids. Because you might have, the majority of kids might be really good kids. You tell them, stay in level 1, and they'll stay there. But it's going to be those few little kids that like to explore and get out of the way. Those are the kids you will come over and grab their iPad and force them to go through guided access. And then they'll be forced to use that app no matter what.
Yes,
So
I agree. It's also a nice thing to use too if you're working in a center and you can't monitor your students. So for several reasons. Okay, so on the bottom of my iPad, it's showing me that the hardware buttons are off, and you'll notice the touch is enabled. I can touch. The motion still works. You can manipulate those if you need. But right underneath my Howie the Hungry Monster screen are some directions, and it says circle areas on the screen you would like to disable. So in this case, if I'm working with kindergarten students, I don't want them to access level 5, this challenge, or level 4, or level 3, or even level 2, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and circle those areas on the iPad before I start. Maybe I don't want them to go to report and setup, and I can circle that area. So I hit the resume button, so I'm gonna go back into guided access, and you'll notice that those areas on the screen are now grayed out. And so I'm gonna go ahead and try to click on level 2. So level 2, nothing happens. Level 3, nothing happens. It's grayed out. It's disabled throughout the entirety of this app, okay? So I press level 1.
Short vowels. Tap start to begin.
And nothing happens. Okay, I forgot to press the start button.
Make a word.
Start. And I can go ahead and work on this Build a Word app for short vowels. But you'll notice still in this area, 4 grayed out circles. So you want to keep that in mind when you're utilizing this, is that in some cases when you disable an area, you're actually disabling a part of the app that they can use. In this specific app, those 4 circles are not going to interfere with, with my short vowel sounds, so I'm good to go. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're setting this up. Try it out. Make sure that you're not circling buttons that they have to use. So again, I'm going to triple click to get out of this app, enter my passcode, and that's really all that there is to it. If I hit end session now, my iPad is back to the way it was. I'll hit the home button. I can get back out of it. So again, really great app if you're wanting to, lock a student in an app. All right, one more tip.
Go ahead.
Those free apps that we like to download as teachers?
Yeah. I forgot
Don't they
about that.
come with all of those annoying ads?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're not so annoying if you're wanting to learn about things, but when you're with your students, they're very annoying. So consider using that able to disable parts of your app in guided access to circle or trace around the ads, those free ads, so that students don't click on those ads because some cute little monkey appears and are taken out of that app to purchase something.
Right.
Okay? Anyway, I wanted to share this quick tip for classroom management. If you need to lock a student into the app for their own safety or to keep them on task, Apple's now built that into their operating system, and take advantage of it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Another classroom map. It would look something similar to this.
Yes, several pieces.